Tēnā te mihi nui ki a koutou. Welcome everyone, and tēnā te mihi ki a koe. Tina, welcome Tina.
Thank
I
you.
am so excited for this interview. So thank you for joining me, Tina, and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited. This is my first dragon related interview actually, so this is super exciting for me.
Well, that is fantastic. So just for everyone who has joined us, I'm just going to share a little about this amazing woman who I have the pleasure of interviewing today. She goes by the name of Tina Dubois. She's the founder of Metaphysical School, which is an education and community website helping intuitive souls awaken with ease, embody their soul purpose, and realize intuitive dreams in all aspects of their lives. Tina teaches a variety of metaphysical topics, including soul purpose, embodiment, intuitive awakenings, crystal healing, and empath skills. In August 2023, Tina's 13-year spiritual journey took a remarkable turn when the universe introduced her to Ashara, her first dragon spirit guide. And since then, she's forged connections with dozens of dragons, serving as a channel for their profound messages. These majestic spiritual beings who share with humanity during this crucial period of our collective awakening. Oh my God, that was so fantastic to share that. Welcome, 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 Tina.
Thank you.
And welcome Ashara and the dragons, because
As soon as you mentioned her name, she like settled in and was like, okay, this is what we're doing now. It was wonderful.
And it's also such a special time. I am a cosmologist from the southern sky, and it's the 1st of February, and literally we are on the tail of the Taniwha, the tail of the dragon, heading in to the dragon New Year.
Yeah, for us it's February 10th, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I get to share dragon energies with people during the dragon year. Like, it's just the most auspicious occasion for me. I'm so excited for it.
And I should note that Tina and I met and connected very deeply in a forum with 10,000 other women, just 10,000 other women, leaders and healers and light keepers and, oracles. And oh my God, that was just so incredible. But we connected through all of the noise because of the alignment of where I am in Aotearoa and where Tina is in Canada. And you're going to talk a little bit about that. So just, tell us a little bit more to connect up the earth. And if anyone is listening, I really just want you to feel right into where you are on the ground and feel your little dragon pulsing in our Mother Earth, and that connects, because whether people are watching this now or later, they're going to be getting zapped with those dragon energies that we're going to talk about. Just connect us in, Tina, a little bit about you, your whenua, your home place, your ancestors, how you came into being where you are today.
Well, I have been on this spiritual journey since 2010. And before that, I was all science all the time. I have 2 science degrees. And so, going from 2 science degrees to I channel dragons is a bit of a journey, right? In 2010, well, actually in 2009, I got a really severe back injury such that I didn't walk for a year. I was laid out on a futon. I couldn't drive. I couldn't get groceries. I couldn't really function. And after a year of doing all the things that Western medicine told me to do, I had practically given up until a friend of mine said, maybe you should try seeing my energy healer. And having 2 science degrees, I was like,
No.
Energy healer, yay. And I was as big a skeptic as you can get, right? But I was out of options, and I had gone to every practitioner and every Western medicine specialist, and they couldn't help me. I was not getting any better. And so I went to this energy specialist, or this energy healer, and her name's Jan, and she's in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I walked in incredibly skeptic, and she must have recognized something of my past in me, because her office was full of crystals and she noticed me staring at them. And I was like, I really like that one. And she was like, well, let's work with it. And so we did this energy healing with crystals. And at the end of the session, I was like, yeah, okay, well, that was interesting. I didn't really feel anything. She didn't tell me anything I didn't already know. And I just, was walking out the door, and she's like, just wait. One of these crystals is telling me that they need to go home with you. And I was like, okay. And she went back to her office. She came back to the front and she gave me one of the crystals, and it was a smoky quartz.
Oh.
And she said, this crystal is telling me that it needs to go home with you.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to go with that. And that night I slept with the crystal in my hand because I really loved it. I loved crystals as a child. I always had crystals. And the next morning,
you got my quartz as you were speaking, because I have
lovely. Beautiful. Do you have smoky and clear quartz? My desk is covered in crystals. The one I have, the smoky quartz I have here is my smoky quartz pendulum, and I also have a really big smoky quartz sitting on my table too.
Look, singers be doing crystal offs as big as this big.
Nice. Okay, well, if you're showing off your big crystals, I'm going to show off my big crystals.
Oh, stop it.
This is Freya. Oh. She is an celestial smoky quartz, and I love her. And yeah, she sits, here with me in my video studio. Because she's immensely calming. But anyway,
smoky quartz. So you went home with your special smoky quartz, and tell us what happened.
The next morning, I woke up an intuitive empath.
Had you change shape?
Well, I could feel energy. I could hear thoughts from other people if they were thinking really loud. I could feel other people's pain, which wasn't great because I was healing from my own pain. But this happened. I could feel clouds of emotion going through grocery stores or libraries or walking down the street. And, I had other intuitive knowings, like when people were going to die, and all of those really intuitive things. They all hit me at once. Oh, and I could also see people's soul auras.
Wow.
And that was amazing. That was super scary to start with. Well, it was, because you're looking at people and you see all these colors around them. You're like, I don't know what any of that means.
Wow. So what year was that? Was 2013?
That was 2010.
Oh,
I was 33 at the time.
Okay. That is very cool. That is more than just a healing, right?
It was. So thank you, Jan, for totally changing my life. And without you, I would not be here. I'm grateful to Jan every day. And so then I started my spiritual seeking journey, and I started working with crystals more. I am a certified crystal healer. I took a pretty extensive crystal healing course. I started teaching crystal healing. I started teaching empath skills at a crystal store where I lived at the time, Cochrane, Alberta. And then when I moved from Cochrane, I was like, I really want to keep teaching, but I moved to the middle of nowhere, British Columbia. I live on the side of a mountain in a town with fewer than 4,000 people who are not very metaphysically inclined. It used to be a mining town, right? Right now it's a ski resort town, but it's not, the most metaphysical. This isn't a place where I can, make a living as a crystal healer or empath teacher or whatever.
Stop it. You're talking to this of manifestor. We do not say yet. This, you just said, we're just creating a reality there. Yet. This is going to be the metaphysical. Listen up here. if anyone is close to British Columbia, move. And also, Tina, we've got the digital realm. It's the age of Aquarius. Okay, so please can
Well,
we...
that's what I did. That's what I did. I didn't think that I could make a living
Right.
doing metaphysical teaching, in person.
Mm.
And I tried. Like I gave it a shot. I advertised, I had crystal workshops. I did the whole 9 yards to make this thing work, in person. And I was like, this isn't working for me. I need to, I need to get online. And just so you know, I am a consummate introvert. I am the most introverted person you're going to meet.
Again,
that is it's
I'm going to bust
okay
that
with
up.
me.
I'm busting it up because I think when we say these things, we just like embody these states. Like introverts can come out of their shell, and there
For
are
sure.
extroverts.
all that introversion means to me is that socializing has a high energetic cost. That's all.
Okay.
And in order to recharge, I need solitude and silence and alone time and reading a book and meditation. And that's all that introversion means to me. It doesn't mean that I can't interact with people or that I'm fearful or shy. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that socializing takes a lot of energy for me. That's all it means.
Yeah. And that is a really great discussion, because I really want to talk with you about the dragon and some of these archetypes. But I think one of the challenges for us using words, so when you say introvert, I immediately read it as a self-limiting condition. That basically means that you can't go outside because you might be, like you can't share anything. So
I understand that. I used to be the same way until I read Susan Cain's book, Quiet, which is like the introvert Bible. It's if you're an introvert and you are looking for empowerment, that is the book, Quiet by Susan Cain. It's wonderful. And it was very, very empowering.
Yeah. And just even that play on introvert. I mean, I guess from my, just the collective patterns that go with words, you actually have a very empowering description and resonance with the word introvert, which I wouldn't have associated with that word. So thank you very much for sharing that. And just coming into this both physical and spiritual and mental and emotional journey you went into, and reaching out, as an introvert from your town. How did the dragons come into your life? And then let's talk about Ashara and her archetype.
Absolutely.
What that means for people who might not understand the dragon or archetypes.
Well, in about 6 years ago, so 2017, I started creating Metaphysical School. And it was designed to be a platform to help people develop their intuition, build trust and confidence in their intuition, and really to help empaths, emerging, awakening empaths, because that was my struggle, right? The first year after I awoke as an intuitive empath was horrible. It was so difficult and challenging for me. I was overwhelmed all of the time. I cried almost every single day until I started developing tools. And so from, 2010 on, but really from 2017, I started teaching these skills to people. And one of the skills is to recognize synchronicities. And so synchronicities are like coincidences, but aren't coincidence, right? Synchronicity, the universe speaks to us through the language of synchronicity. And so in August 2023, I started seeing dragons everywhere on my Facebook feed, emails, everywhere on TV, if I was watching TV, everywhere in real life, like dragon clouds, like I was seeing dragons everywhere. And one of the things you learn in trusting your intuition is to recognize these synchronicities and to trust them. And so one night at the end of August, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw yet another dragon come up on my Facebook feed. And so I asked the question, I wonder if I have a dragon spirit guide that is trying to come through. And nothing happened. But what did happen was I had this really strong intuitive pull to pick up one of my crystals. And it wasn't a smoky quartz. It was actually a Preseli bluestone, which I have. This is my little Preseli bluestone, which I've mounted in a necklace so that I can wear it whenever I want. And I picked up this little green crystal. It's green and cream, and it's very, very grounding. And I picked it up. And as soon as I picked it up, I felt this really powerful energy come out of the crystal and up my arm and into my heart and then through my entire body. And I knew that this was a dragon that had connected with me, and she connected with me through this crystal. And it was wonderful. I knew that it was a female dragon, fully mature, because now that I've connected with many, many dragons, they range in age. And the first thing she told me was she was the dragon crystal guardian of Preseli Bluestone. And I was like, that is wonderful. And from there, we had this huge conversation about dragons and crystals. And she told me that many dragons are the dragon crystal, are the guardians of Gaia's crystals. Gaia's, the planet, our Earth. And
Papa Tonoku, as we say.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, that's kind of hard to believe. So my scientific skeptic came out and showed herself to my brand new dragon, connection. And
did she breathe fire at you?
No, she didn't care. Ashara said to me, "It matters not what you believe." And we just went on forging our relationship. And what happened after that moment was, I think she actually kind of respected that. Even though she connected with me, I still practiced discernment. She respected that I had my own mind and that I wasn't afraid to share it. And so, yeah. But since she told me that, I wholeheartedly believe, because the Dragon Crystal Guardian Collective then connected with me a few weeks later. And now I've connected with 60 plus dragons who are Dragon Crystal Guardians of other crystals. And they're all different. They all have their own energy and their own archetypes. And getting back to dragon archetypes.
Can you explain that? Just like somebody who might be saying, what is this? Can you, what is to you, what is the dragon energy? What is a dragon?
To me, what the dragons share with me is calmness, courage, and empowerment. And so after connecting with so many dragons, at this point, it's, well over 70, I've kind of classified the different types of dragon energy archetypes. And those are just kind of primary energies that they share, that they radiate. And each one is different. They each have a different combination of energy archetypes. And for Ashara, as an example, Ashara is a grounding, healing dragon. So those are two of the energy archetypes. And what that means to me is that she helps me ground my energies. She helps keep me calm. She's an excellent emotional support dragon. So if I need something in the emotional support department, she helps me with that. And she's also a healing dragon. And so she also helps with healing. But when I talk to her and ask her, how do you help healing? How do you help me heal? How do dragons help other people heal? She said,
that is not
something to the effect. I have a quote, but I don't have it at the tip of my tongue. But what she shared was that she doesn't do the healing. She empowers your ability to heal yourself. And so I found that extremely, extremely powerful. I thought that was just the most amazing, because that is also how I view healing, as a crystal healer, as a sound healer, because after I went on the whole crystal healing journey, I also, dove into sound healing. That's actually what energy healing is about. It's about activating and empowering your own abilities to heal yourself. Healers don't heal you. They just trigger in you your ability to heal yourself. And that is what the dragons do as well.
And I mean, so I've taught quantum touch for a long time, and I
That's
consistently.
actually what Jan did.
I love
That energy healer
yeah,
that I went
oh,
to
yeah,
see, she did
yeah,
quantum touch and body talk
yeah,
and crystal healing.
yeah. Wow, powerful, intuitive guide. So I guess yeah, and it's this is why I was asking you so much about the dragons, because until I met you, I never really thought about energy in that way. But when you're in a quantum touch or in a quantum energy healing, the only thing you do as the person who's leading it is get out of the effing way and let divine energy, universal energy, source energy, te kore, if that is or that place in the cosmos where all the energy is birthed. You let that come through you, but it is your subject, your friend, your family member who does their own healing. And I say that, so same with psychics. Don't listen to the psychic, you're the psychic. The psychic, a good psychic is the vessel for you to receive. So in terms of, talk to us more about, I guess, if a little bit more about how I would love to know, and I'm sure many people in the audience would love to know, anyone who's listening, okay, that's all and well and good if you've gone down the spiritual journey, but what how does a person go about connecting with their own dragons or even finding out about dragons?
Well, that is a wonderful question. And it doesn't just have to be limited to like people who think they are intuitive people.
Mm.
I'm giving a workshop in a couple of weeks to celebrate the lunar new year of the dragon. And in it, I'm going to share tips on how to connect with your dragon. But the very first tip that I'm going to share is immerse yourself in dragon energy. And
Mm.
it's super simple to do. Go do a Google search on dragons. Like, look at dragon images. Go to Facebook. Facebook has wonderful dragon groups. Maybe join a dragon group and just immerse yourself
Mm.
in the energy, the images of dragons. And specific ones are gonna pop out at you. For example, I had a friend who I connected with her actually through dragons in another intuitive group. She had shared the story about these red dragons keep showing up in my life. Like there are books, like 2 books on red dragons that were on her floor that she just had recognized as this is significant.
Mm.
And so I worked with her to help her connect with her own dragon spirit guide, and they did connect. It's wonderful. And he is a red dragon. And basically all I told her was just immerse yourself in dragon energies. Look at dragon images and see what pops out at you. And it was always red dragons for her.
Yeah.
Not surprising. And she next asked, how do I communicate with my dragon? And I said, there are lots of ways. Just
Mm.
be open.
Mm.
Ask questions and be open to the answer, however that may come to you. It might come to you in symbols or synchronicities or images. It might come to you in sound. Like, I have conversations with my dragons. And so, like, literally, I have dragon voices in my head. Yes, it is a thing. And, it might come as just a knowing, it might come as a feeling in your body. Like, your heart might tingle, you might get butterflies, you might feel something in your back or your shoulder or your head. Just be open. There are lots of ways that you can communicate with your dragon spirit guide. But yeah, first step, immerse yourself in dragon energies. And that just means go look at them. Watch a dragon movie. Watch How to Train Your Dragon. It's wonderful. It's has a wonderful dragon energy to it, Side note, there's a lot of preconceived notions about dragons being fearsome and bloodthirsty and violent and aggressive, and none of the dragons that I've connected with are like that. None of them. They are spiritual beings who want to connect with us and want to help us progress through this period in our awakening process. And what I kind of like to share is dragons are like angels, but they aren't. Lots of people connect with angels. Lots of people feel like they communicate with their angels. Lots of people feel like they have guardian angels in their lives. I have guardian angels as well. I have 3. Now I have 4 dragons and 3 angels. I got quite the family going on. Big spirit team. But dragons are like angels in terms of they are here, they are real, they are spirit, and they want to help us to be who we are, be who we were born to be, remind us what we are here to remember. That's a very spiritual part, but we can leave it at that. But
So
they're here to help.
An easy, simple way, if you were like just listening to this, and is it like the embodiment of divine energies? Is that a yeah? Okay,
yeah,
right. That's cool. Because
most of the dragons that I've connected with are dragons of Earth, right? The dragon crystal guardians.
Yeah.
And that's how I connected with most of them, but not all of the dragons are dragon crystal guardians. Some of them are have greater purpose than that, have bigger purpose. But yeah, they are definitely embodiments of cosmic energies. And so that's kind of what the dragon energy archetypes are.
Yeah, thank you. So I have a question for you, because you've talked about personal journeys to embody this energy and just to immerse yourself in that dragon energy. So what about the significance of our universal year? We're in 2024, about to hit the new lunar moon that ignites, I say, the Taniwha, the dragon, and we're in the age of Aquarius, and we've got Pluto, who is the embodiment of, we say, Hini Nui Te Po. She's like the deepest, darkest, feminine, destructive ability that breaks down right through into the column and splits out the next cycle. Okay, so I did my little spell, but from your perspective, and I was going to say Hini Nui Te Po because of my own. I got another question after this, but just is there some significance with 2024 and this whole period of dragon universal energy that people can just use?
I believe that there is a collective awakening of dragon energy because more and more and more and more people are connecting with dragon energy. Yep. It's like a path, right? And the path is like a goat trail through the woods. And the more people who travel on it, the more traveled, the easier the path gets. And right now, the dragon path is a super highway. And more people are connecting with their dragon energies and connecting with their dragon spirit guides. And I think it's because we just have so much collective dragon energy going on in the human collective right now, that this is why there's just so much. As an aside, astrology is probably my weakest metaphysical subject. And so I depend on you, Carmel, for all things astrological knowledge.
Well, that was a question I wanted to ask you, because everyone, works with these kind of collective metaphysical patterns and makes sense of them with their own ancestral and wisdom traditions. And I really believe that everyone has all of this. We can put our antennas up and just reach it as we ask. But I guess it's what I'm really interested in is when you're stepping into that, how do you make sense of all the massive archetypes out there with, what can the dragon, stepping into the dragon knowledge, what can it help you with to if you're balancing a whole lot of, as you said, your astrology is not yet your strongest. It's going to be at some point. But how do you navigate all this incoming all these incoming embodiment of cosmic energies, and what can the dragons, what's definitive and special and distinctive about the dragon energies that can really help people shift through that?
This is all about archetypes, right? And archetypes are just a representation of a specific type of energy, right? And so we have god and goddess archetypes. Like we have the Greek goddesses, and let's go with the Egyptian goddesses. You know, like Isis and let's go with a Greek goddess. Oh boy, my Greek goddess instructor is going to be so upset with me. Aphrodite. Okay.
I was going to hold up my book because I used, does that give you a bit of help? Probably doesn't actually, because it's like they're masculine.
Well, we have, you know, we have these goddess archetypes, and say Isis, and let's go with Aphrodite. One is an Egyptian goddess, and one is a Greek goddess, but they embody the same energy of love and fertility and you know, divine feminine. It is the exact same thing with dragon energies, but they have their own flavor of archetypes, right? And so like Ashara, she's a grounding and healing dragon archetype, but they each have different ones. And the ones that you, I don't know, want to look more into are the ones that you need in the moment. Like if you're needing healing, then, you know, ask, can I connect, you know, can I connect with a healing dragon? Is there a healing dragon that could help me? And that energy will come through to you.
I was just going to ask you, just because the universal energy is wood dragon, which is like the whole healing space.
Earth.
Yeah, Earth, Papatōnaku. It's in. So my question is like, is there more wood dragon energy that is just there for us, and what would be some of the ways that people could? Because I mean, it is a wood dragon year, 2024. So if you're on this journey, you're embodying the dragon energy, but are there some bigger ways that we can step into this healing, earthy, Gaia focused?
Well, if you're feeling like you need some grounding, some calming, some help with overwhelm or anxiety, then you can ask to connect with the grounding dragons, or you can just connect with Gaia. And some exercises you can do that is anything earthing. So walk on the earth barefoot. If it's winter, like for me, it is winter where I am. And although it is unseasonably warm for our winter, it is still not barefoot warm. You know, touch some plants, put your hands in some dirt, anything to get you connected with the earth. There's also tons, and I'm sure Carmel has wonderful ideas for this, breathwork exercises that you can do. I don't know if that's your jam at all, but but like just breathwork. This is what I've been doing.
Good. Do you do the fire breath? Because again, I really love to give people who are listening to us these tips and these tools that they can embody. And it is a dragon year, so do you fire breathe?
I haven't done fire breathing because I have been focusing on the sweeping breath from your book, which is a grounding breath for me, right? Because I bring in calm from the earth and then hold for, you know, breathe in for 4, hold and expand for 4, for a count of 4, and then relax for a count of 4. And it's like a mantra in my head. It's very calming, and I do it to bring calm to me anytime. And so I've been doing, like, you call it the sweeping breath, I call it the calming breath.
I love that.
But this is what that's the breath work that I've been working on. I haven't ventured into fire breathing yet. So if you want to talk about fire breathing, let's do it.
I definitely do, because I think, but just because it's this year, and it may also, well, the thing about the fire breath, and it's actually a Kundalini yoga practice, so it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, and it's probably because I'm, you know, quite masculine, so I like all the masculine, you know, tips, but it just instantly raises your vibration. Instantly, and it literally clears out your channel. And because we're both
let's do it.
Let's do it. So you can do it through your nose. If you have stuckness in your brain fog, use your nose. If you want to really rapidly heal resistance, and we had a workshop and we on the weekend, and we did this collectively as a group, and you should have seen the healings that, backs went into alignment, people lost parasites that they'd held on to for years. It was really transformative. So if you've got a group of friends, it's even better. If you're having an argument with somebody in your family, fire breathe. It just they get so freaked out. The cats and the dogs leave the room, but it is equal, and I'll demonstrate it first because it's not pretty. I'm turning on my side so that you
Okay.
breathe, you do one of those big calming breaths in from the air. So you go and get yourself settled, and then you go. And you may need to hold a desk or a chair.
Okay. So what I saw you doing was really powerful inhalations and exhalations fast
Equal
with a lot of
measure.
body movement.
No, the body movement happens without you thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't know if you're standing, but I am standing.
I'm sitting.
Yeah. Okay, so just hold, maybe if you've got a desk, or hold. Should we do it together? Because you can clear. You clear the south, and I'll clear the north. I'll bring sun to you. You bring snow to me, and we'll just be a couple. So, are we ready? And everyone else, tune into this because you're getting your healing from this. Here we go.
So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and out powerfully and fully.
Fully. Equal measure in and out, as hard as you can.
Excellent.
Here
okay,
we go.
I'm going to mute my mic though so that you don't have to listen.
I'm not going to. You need to hear
all
it.
right. Well, I couldn't hear you at all. So.
Oh, couldn't you? Oh, I'll do it louder. I'm going to breathe here.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, we'll do it together.
Here we go.
Okay. Okay, dizzy now.
I could keep going. Hey guys, that is the first North-South Fire Dragon Breath of 2024, and I hope that others do this more. See, I didn't even feel any dizziness that time. If you do it,
I definitely did.
Okay, so you're not doing
still
it properly.
spacey.
You want to do another one, and maybe we can bring everyone else in with us, because you shouldn't feel dizzy. If you do it right, if you're equal, in and out, you can go on for a really long time, because I didn't get any, it's partly a settling. Again, embody the dragon. You want to raise your vibration, want to raise your frequency, want to raise your power, your natural born divinity, because it exists.
It's for me, it was feeling like hyperventilating. So maybe don't breathe so quickly, and maybe a little bit more deeply, as long as they're equal.
Yeah, find your rhythm and from your gut. Should we do it again? You do it and I'll watch. How's that?
I do it with my eyes closed, so I don't even know what it looks like.
That's fine. This is you, me, and the world.
Yeah.
And listeners, but if we have got watchers and listeners, you're doing it with us, and we're going to do this live next time, Tina, so we can actually get some but if in the replay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm watching.
I need to do your earthing breath first.
Get into alignment.
Not dizzy that time.
And you know what? Yours is such a gentle fire breath Oh my god!
As opposed to what?
Well, you
aggressive?
Heard me. Everyone heard me. Yeah. So can you just tell me can you tell everyone how you feel? Just what does it do physically in your body and in your mind?
I feel way stronger. Because of my back injury, I have not the best postural muscles sometimes, and they can get a little tired quickly. And after that, I feel I'm sitting straighter, and my ribs feel better, and my obliques that also are kind of weak, and I have things to work on there. They feel like they're more supportive, more posturally supportive. So I feel stronger and more supported. And, the raising the vibration part, yeah, totally that. But I've been working a lot on some meditation techniques I've read about in a Super Manifestor book recently. And so
We're not doing
I don't know if you're aware of that book at all. But yeah, I've been
links in the description.
So it absolutely, absolutely. So I feel very similar to when I connect to source, clearer, more connected. And one of my dragons is a limiting belief, fire breathing, extinguishing, releasing dragon, and I can feel her closer to me.
Wow. Wow. And I think I'd just add for anyone listening, I didn't do it at the beginning, but if you center first in your heart, then center in the ground, you pick up a couple of dragons just instantly because your heart's so magnetic, way more powerful than your mind. And then you pick up the earth's vibration, and you don't have to be standing on the earth with your feet, although that does help. But if you really do that, and then the only other thing you can do, Tina, is if you like put your arms out. We're flying now.
Okay.
No,
Oh
seriously.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can you feel your aura and how far it goes? Like,
Yeah.
I bet you
it's much farther than normal.
Exactly.
It's
like,
past my fingertips. It's way past my fingertips. Wow.
I know. And then if you turn, like we did this on the weekend, and this girl said, I can't feel my aura. And I said, oh, I can feel her. I can feel your aura. And that's about the embodiment of that dragon energy in a really transformative way, because we are healers and we can heal our earth and we can heal each other. And you are already helping so many empaths to come out of the show. And so, yeah, that is. But the thing I love the most about your version is how gentle your. I've never seen, and I want some more people to observe how everyone fire breathes, because yeah, it is just yours is just the most. It's like a Shara was doing her, very.
Well, Ashara isn't my fire breathing dragon, but like I always have Ashara with me, and she's very she's very grounding and healing. My fire breathing dragon is Mirror. She is a reflection of me. It's interesting.
Could you please tell the story,
Wow.
Mira? Please, could you share that story so other people. This is a very beautiful story.
I've shared, I was reading Carmel's Super Manifestor book and taking her meditation course. And one of the exercises in the book is about releasing limiting beliefs. And the exercise is to map out your limiting beliefs from your childhood on. And I simply asked the question as I was preparing to do this exercise, what if I could just release all my unconscious limiting beliefs in one shot? And when I asked that question, it was a what if question, not a how. It was just a what if. And as soon as I asked that question, this blue and silver dragon came out of me. And none of the other dragons have come out of me. All of the other dragons that I've connected with have connected with me from the outside in. This one came from the inside out. She is blue and silver, and she came out of me from my heart, because that is where dragons come from for me. And I see her. She came out of my body, and I could see her because I also see information and intuitive information. And she looks straight at me, and then she goes into my body, and she starts gobbling stuff up. Like she just starts eating things. And she was eating all of the limiting beliefs that have been resting in my body for, I'm now 46 years old. For 46 years. She gobbled them all up from my head, like all over my head, my face, my neck, my chest, my body, like arms everywhere. She just like is going through my body, gobbling things up. She comes out of my body and breathes this big flame of fire. And she was transmuting all of the limiting beliefs that she had just gobbled up out of me. And I felt lighter and holier, like holy, as in I had holes in me, not not the HOLY. And I was like, okay, I need to fill up those spaces. Like those spaces are empty. And I was like, what am I going to fill them up with? And in the book, it also says the only core belief you need is that you are unlimited. And so I took all of those spaces and I filled them up with you are unlimited. And ever since then, these used to be unconscious limiting beliefs have been coming up for me. Like they've all been surfaced because they're no longer buried. They were gobbled up. They've gotten rid of. I still know that they were there, and I'm identifying what they were and what their origins were and why they, why they showed up in the first place. But they're gone now. And I know that every time one of these limiting beliefs come up, like about money, right? Like who doesn't have limiting beliefs about money? So some of mine were about money is hard to make and you have to work hard to make it. And there's only so much money in the world and there's so much money scarcity. So all of these limiting beliefs no longer exist for me. And the only thing that replaced them is I am unlimited. And so, yeah, this is Mirror. And now Mirror kind of rests. Her wings are kind of along my shoulder blades. But yeah, she is a reflection of me, which is why her name is Mirror, because she's a reflection. But
she was always in you, right? Waiting.
Yeah.
And I think that this is what I really wanted, why I love your stories so much and why I just really want other people to soak in, is how they are full of this. Like, I know I'm a dragon. I did a past life regression and my very first boom, I was just like, I thought it was a dinosaur, but I didn't even have any human lives, which I was very pleased about. I was like, okay, all the rest is just an impression. And thank you for that, because now I can just be a dragon. In fact, I think I used to get called a dragon in my family because or a taniwha, but some of us know that we are not really human. We
are not just human. I have a whole theory on consciousness and and how that works. But yeah, we are not only the consciousness that we think we are.
Absolutely. We are unlimited.
We are unlimited.
And that is a beautiful starting point for divinity and awareness, because I think if you go from that place of unlimitedness, then as opposed to limitedness, which is where most of us rest, unless we've been doing our work, right, Tina? But it's so where was I going to bring that through? So tell me, with this unlimited capacity to bring forth dragon energy in your beautiful flowing way, I just have to acknowledge that beautiful, gentle fire breath that I've never ever seen, and no one has ever seen that. And please, can more people do the gentle fire breathing? Where are you going to bring? What are you going to bring forth into the world, and what are you going to activate in the Wood Dragon year, which is, we're literally a week away from it? What are you going to bring out and share, Tina, to inspire the rest?
Well, I've been talking about it for a number of months, and it was kind of an idea that I floated, shortly after, I don't know, let's say 10 or 12 dragons connected with me. I feel the need. I have a mission to share dragons with the world and maybe give them a bit of a rebrand, that they're not these vicious, bloodthirsty, aggressive beings, that they really are not. They are really spiritual beings who are here to help us. And so the idea that came to me. Pardon?
Except the ones that just come out of my mouth from time to time. But
yours are
yeah,
also yours are powerful, but they are also spiritual beings, and they are not bloodthirsty. So the way that came to me originally to share the Dragon Crystal Guardian Collective was to create an oracle deck. And it would be a visual, and it also would come with a guidebook, of course. So it's a way to connect with dragons visually. And I started the oracle deck guidebook last night. And like, I'm working with an artist to bring the dragons to life. Her name is, no joke, her name is The Dragon. She is the artist behind Enchanted Ink AI Studio.
I love it.
No joke. Like, the synchronicities are amazing. Her, like,
Can
you
we
go to
put
her
her
website and it
links
says she is the dragon.
We want her links. In fact, what I will do is
Awesome.
put a bunch of links of everything that we've talked about.
Okay.
On the page somewhere. Yeah.
But this morning, I was like, I understand that there are many, many people who love oracle decks. I adore oracle decks. I have many of them. My collection is always growing. But this morning I was like, I think my oracle deck also needs to be a book. And so I have 2 books and 2 oracle decks in me that need to come out. The first oracle deck is the Dragon Crystal Guardian oracle deck, and it'll be a deck of the Dragon Crystal Guardians themselves. It'll be a 64 card deck. I started working on that a while ago. I don't know, I may have done a reading for Carmel about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also want to make a Dragon Affirmations deck, because they have powerful messages that are actually really wonderful affirmations for us, very powerful. And I think I'm going to also write 2 books. One's going to be Dragon Wisdom, powerful messages and affirmations from the Dragon Crystal Guardian Collective. And it'll just be a book for those people who are not so keen on oracle decks yet, but need like a primer, I guess. And I talked about this with Carmel. I want to write a book on the dragon archetypes. And it'll be like the dragon energy archetypes, how to channel, like how to empower yourself to be unlimited through the dragon energy archetypes. Title is being workshopped.
That's good.
So
well,
yeah,
it's going to come through your. I have a question. Why 64 Dragon Crystal Guardians?
It was as soon as I decided I was going to make an oracle deck, I knew it had to be 64. And I really think it's because I think 8, the number, if you're into numerology, 8 is the number of infinity, and 64 is 8 squared, 8 times 8. And so this deck had to be 64 cards. And it'll be 63 cards of dragons, and the 64th will be the message from the Dragon Crystal Guardian Collective. And I would love to share that message with people. The collective itself is its own consciousness. And the message that they want to share with humanity right now is unity. Humans are separated by thought, belief, regions. You are not. You are not separate. You are all one. You are all spirit. That is the message that the collective themselves want to share with humanity. They recognize that we're at this pivotal point and are needing some help to recognize and remember who we are, that we are one and that we are spirit.
I'm going to cry.
If you cry, I'm going to cry, because that's also an empath
I
thing.
got tears in my eyes. We have a word for that unity, kōtahitanga, which is kind of similar. And it is such a beautiful, beautiful reminder of why we are here. And it is because we're not separate from anything
That's right.
and anyone. And I've run out of questions, so I'm overcome by just the beauty of that transmission and reminder. And thank you, Tina. It was really, thank you, Dragon Collective, for reminding us. And so to reach you, because I know that people are going to want to connect and join your Dragon Wisdom Pack School Collective.
Well, I can say that there's a lot of things in transition right now, but you can still connect with me through Metaphysical School. And so that website is metaphysical.school. And you can also find all the socials, Instagrams and Facebooks. And if you're interested in learning more about dragons and dragon wisdom, I am offering a dragon wisdom workshop on my February 8th. It's February 9th for everyone down under. And to find the link to that, you can go to metaphysical.school/link in bio, because it's not on the homepage or anywhere else. There's a link in the link in bio. And so we'll probably share links to that wherever this is shared. And yeah. And yeah, so that is how I'm going to be celebrating the Lunar New Year of the Dragon, which is our February 10th. And 2 days before, I'm offering this Dragon Wisdom Workshop to introduce to people the Dragon Crystal Guardian Collective and the powerful messages that they have to share with the world right now.
Well, I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing event. And I just had a little request, and it's part of our culture is really to seal the vibration of what has been offered with some form of prayer or some form of sealing. And I would like you to end that, Tina, because, or the Dragon Collective, however that comes, I would like you to seal this session and the vibration for our listeners, this high vibration, this amazing love and kotahitanga that we have created and held space for today. So handing over to you, my sister, to end us.
Well, because I have spent so much time reading Super Manifestor and learning Carmel's meditation course, I have been practicing a lot of Dear Universe affirmations. A lot. It is a day, multiple times a day mantra for me. And to close this, I would love to say and give thanks by way of a Dear Universe affirmation, which is, Dear Universe, I am so happy and grateful to have connected with the dragon energies, to connect with Gaia, to connect with Source, to connect with Carmel and all the people who are listening now or who will listen to this transmission in the future. Thank you. Thank you.